Imagine this. You wake up, eat a simple breakfast, nothing unusual, but by noon your hands are shaking, your heart's racing, and you feel weak. Sounds extreme? It's not. For seniors with diabetes, the wrong food can quietly send blood sugar out of control. In this video, you'll learn 5 foods you should never touch and 5 you must eat to stay safe. Like, share, or hit subscribe if senior health matters to you. Let's dive in. Number 1. Unpasteurized dairy, the hidden risk in fresh cheese. Hey everyone, can we talk about something that's been quietly sitting in your fridge? It might seem safe. A soft cheese from the farmer's market, a bottle of raw milk someone gave you. But for older adults, especially those with diabetes, this natural milk can be a silent threat. Let me paint a picture. A woman in her 70s thought she had a mild stomachache, but within hours she was in the emergency room, dehydrated, weak, and confused. Her blood sugar had spiked dangerously. Turns out, it wasn't her medication that was to blame. It was a slice of homemade cheese that hadn't been properly cured. That one snack set off a cascade of reactions. Why does this happen? As we age, our immune systems don't respond as well as they used to. And if you live with diabetes, your body is already struggling to handle stress and filter out toxins. Unpasteurized milk, no matter how fresh it may seem, can carry hidden dangers that lead to infections that can quickly cause bigger problems for your blood sugar, kidneys, and heart. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, older adults are 4 times more likely to be hospitalized for a food illness. The Food and Drug Administration also strongly recommends that older adults avoid any unpasteurized dairy products. So here's one of the most overlooked senior health tips I can give you. Always check the label. Look for the word pasteurized on any cheese, milk, or yogurt, especially if it comes from a local vendor or small market. If you're not sure, don't risk it. If you thought unpasteurized dairy was risky, undercooked meats bring a whole different kind of trouble, especially when your immune system's already working overtime. Number 2. Undercooked meats, when just a little pink is too much. Hey, let me tell you a quick story. A neighbor of mine, Jim, 72, likes his steak medium rare. He says that's how he's always eaten it. One weekend, his grandson grilled some burgers. Juicy, just a little pink in the middle. Jim took a big bite and smiled like he was back in the 1980s. But that night, he couldn't sleep. His stomach was churning, he had chills, and his blood sugar spiked so fast that his blood glucose meter wouldn't even register a number. He ended up in the hospital for 3 nights, on IVs, and unable to eat or drink. Now here's the part most people don't think about. For seniors, especially those with diabetes, our bodies don't recover as quickly as they used to. Even small amounts of undercooked meat can contain germs that healthy adults can fight off, but you can't. Your immune system, kidneys, and digestive system are now working more slowly. That delay allows dangerous bacteria to take hold and cause blood sugar spikes, dehydration, or worse. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention and the U.S. Department of Agriculture, all meats should be cooked to a safe internal temperature of 165 degrees F for poultry, 160 degrees F for ground meat, and 145 degrees F for whole cuts of meat like steak or pork, and yes, that includes letting the meat rest after cooking to kill anything remaining inside. So here's one of the smartest senior health tips you'll hear today. Use a food thermometer. No guessing, no, it looks done. A quick check can save you a trip to the emergency room. Ever liked your steak a little pink in the middle? Drop a 2. In the comments we'll chat about how to keep the flavor without taking chances with your health. Number 3. Spoiled foods, when it still smells okay, isn't safe anymore. Hey, quick question, have you ever smelled a can of leftovers and thought, yeah, it must be fine? Maybe it's been sitting in the fridge for a few days. Maybe the milk is just a little sour. You don't see any mold. You didn't get sick last time, so you ate it. That habit? It's a lot more dangerous now than it used to be. Here's why. As we age, our sense of smell and taste become less acute, so spoiled food doesn't always smell bad to us, even when it's spoiled. Add diabetes to that, and now you have slower digestion, weaker kidneys, and a harder time eliminating toxins. What that means is simple. Food poisoning can hit harder, last longer, and spike your blood sugar to life-threatening levels. The US Food and Drug Administration warns that for adults over 65, just one contaminated meal can lead to dehydration, hospitalization, or serious complications. A 2019 study in the journal Clinical Infectious Diseases found that older adults are 5 times more likely to suffer serious consequences from foodborne illness than younger adults. And it's not just the obviously spoiled stuff. Soft bread with a moldy corner, mold spores are spreading invisibly. Milk that's been open for 2 weeks, even if it looks fine, it could contain harmful organisms. So here's one of the simplest senior health tips to live by. Check the expiration date. Keep your refrigerator at 40 degrees F or below, and if you're not sure, throw it out. Your health is worth more than a sandwich. If tossing out spoiled food feels wasteful, wait till you hear what packaged snacks can cost your health. This next one hides in plain sight. Number 4. High-sugar processed foods, the sweet habit that's slowly hurting you. Hey, let's talk about something you probably buy at the store without thinking twice. A box of crackers labeled heart healthy, a granola bar labeled low fat, or a bottle of tea labeled natural. It looks safe, it's everywhere, but for seniors, especially those managing diabetes, these sugary processed foods can be secretly harming your health. And here's what makes them especially risky. It's not just the sugar, it's the way they're made, stored, and sold. Many of these products are mass-produced, with preservatives and cheap ingredients to survive long-term shipping and storage. That means by the time it reaches your kitchen, it's been sitting in a box or warehouse for weeks, sometimes months. According to the US Food and Drug Administration, processed foods from large factories often contain unstable oils and excess sweeteners to mask the loss of flavor over time. For older adults, these ultra-processed snacks can cause blood sugar spikes and lead to serious complications, especially when combined with dehydration or certain medications. Even worse, some snacks that are marketed as healthy still come from establishments with questionable sourcing or inconsistent quality control. Labels can be misleading, and what looks clean on the outside can hide harmful storage practices behind the scenes. One of the best senior health tips I can share here is shop smart. Choose fresh, familiar, clearly labeled whole foods. If you can't pronounce the ingredients or don't recognize the label, skip it. And always check how long it's been on the shelf. If the label ever fooled you into thinking something was healthy, type 4 down below. Let's walk through a few tricks to shop smarter next time. Number 5. Foods from unregulated sources. When no one's watching, you pay the price. Hey everyone, let's take a closer look at something that seems convenient but could be damaging your health. You're out running errands. You pass a cart selling barbecued meats or homemade pickles in jars. Maybe there's a stall with fresh sandwiches wrapped in plastic. It looks clean, it smells good, and it's cheap. But here's the problem. You don't really know where it came from or how it was handled. Let's break it down. When food is sold from an unregulated vendor, such as a street stall, a pop-up market, or a small online seller, it often skips safety checks. No one checks the refrigeration system. No one checks the cleanliness of their preparation areas. And there's no guarantee it's being kept at the right temperature, especially in warm weather. The US Food and Drug Administration and the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention have both warned that seniors are much more susceptible to foodborne illness when eating foods from these sources. That's because age weakens your immune system, and diabetes slows your body's ability to fight off infection and dehydration. And don't forget, many of these vendors don't list ingredients or expiration dates. That homemade-looking jar could have been sitting out in the sun all day or in someone's trunk before it got to you. One of the most practical senior health tips to remember is only buy food from trusted grocery stores or certified farmers markets. Look for airtight packaging, clear labels, and reliable refrigeration. If something is being sold from an unattended cooler in a parking lot, stay away. After everything we've seen about food you can't trust, let's shift to something simple, safe, and good for you, like the greens already in your fridge. You know, the roadside food story is a good reminder that sometimes the biggest risks come from things we never suspect, not because we don't care, but because we always do. But the truth is, once you're over 60, everything has a bigger impact. That fresh cheese from the market, that burger that's still pink in the middle, that still smelling okay left over, or even those boxed snacks that look healthy on the outside, but have been sitting on the shelf for months. None of them scream, danger, but they're silently sapping your strength, spiking your blood sugar, and wearing you down. So it's not about cutting things out, it's about being a little more aware, a little more careful. These moments add up, and your health deserves more than, "It's probably fine." Let's move on. The good news is, there are a lot of foods that actually protect you, and we'll talk about them next. Now that we've gone through the foods that quietly wear your body down, let's shift focus. Because just like there are things that can spike your blood sugar or weaken your system without warning, there are also simple, everyday foods that do the opposite. They help steady your numbers, protect your heart, and keep you feeling stronger, especially as you get older. Let's take a look at the ones worth adding to your plate. Number 6. Non-starchy vegetables. The most overlooked blood sugar shield. Hey, can we talk about something simple for a second? Not some hot new superfood, not some fancy supplement, just regular veggies. Broccoli, spinach, kale, cauliflower. The ones that sit quietly in your fridge drawer, waiting for a second chance. They don't look special, sugar-free, unappealing. But here's the thing. Non-starchy veggies are some of the best tools you have for keeping your blood sugar stable. They're low in carbohydrates, high in fiber, and rich in antioxidants. That means they don't cause spikes and actually help slow down digestion, giving your body time to absorb nutrients without overloading it. The American Diabetes Association recommends filling half your plate with these veggies at every meal, and a 2020 study published in the journal Diabetes Care found that older adults who regularly ate non-starchy vegetables had better A1C levels and a lower risk of diabetes complications. They also help you feel full, which reduces unnecessary snacking or cravings for sweets. And when you steam or roast them with a little olive oil and garlic, they're not boring, they're comforting. One of the best senior health tips I can give you is, don't overthink it. Just try to put something green and familiar on your plate every day. You don't need a perfect meal plan, you just need consistency. If veggies are already part of your daily plate, or if you're thinking of giving them another shot, go ahead and comment 6. I'll share a few simple ways to make them less boring and more satisfying. Number 7. Berries. Sweet enough to enjoy, smart enough to trust. Hey everyone, can I let you in on a little secret? You don't have to give up sweets completely just because you're watching your blood sugar. In fact, some of the sweetest things in your kitchen can actually help you more than hurt you. I'm talking about berries. Blueberries, strawberries, raspberries, these little guys pack a punch. They're naturally sweet, but they come with something most desserts don't: fiber, antioxidants, and a low impact on your blood sugar. A 2021 study in the Journal of Nutrition found that older adults who regularly eat berries have better insulin sensitivity and less inflammation in their bodies. And the American Diabetes Association calls berries one of their top superfoods for diabetes. Why? Because their natural sugar is balanced by their high fiber content. It's released into your bloodstream slowly, not all at once. You can mix them into plain yogurt, sprinkle them on oatmeal, or even freeze them for a cold snack. They satisfy your sweet tooth without causing a crash afterward. And they're a lot safer than those so-called low-fat snacks with long ingredient lists. One of the easiest senior health tips to follow: when you're craving something sweet, go for the real thing. A handful of fresh berries can do more for you than a granola bar pretending to be healthy. If berries prove not all sweetness is bad, wait till you see how whole grains can help steady your blood sugar without giving up comfort foods. Number 8. Whole grains, not all breads are built the same. Hey, real quick, have you ever picked up a loaf of bread labeled whole wheat and thought, okay, this must be healthy? That's an easy mistake to make. Lots of foods look like whole grains on the outside, but they're not. And that distinction matters, especially when you're trying to keep your blood sugar stable. Here's what you need to know. Whole grains like oats, brown rice, and quinoa are digested slowly. That means they help prevent spikes in blood sugar. They also contain fiber, B vitamins, and magnesium, which your body needs more of as you age. In contrast, refined grains, like white bread or instant rice, have had most of those nutrients stripped away during processing. So even though they look similar, your body reacts very differently to them. A 2022 study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that older adults who regularly ate whole grains had better blood sugar control and a lower risk of developing complications from type 2 diabetes. And the National Council on Aging recommends that older adults choose 100% whole grain products whenever possible, especially at breakfast and lunch. So here's one of the most helpful senior health tips when you're shopping. Read labels. Look for whole as the first ingredient. If it says enriched wheat flour, it's not whole grain. If it looks soft, fluffy, and has been sitting on the shelf for a long time, it's probably not helping your blood sugar. Not sure what makes bread truly whole grain? Type 8 in the comments. I'll break down what to look for so you can choose the right loaf with confidence. Number 9. Lean proteins. The silent strength behind a balanced plate. Hey, have you ever had a meal that initially felt filling, but then left you feeling tired, hungry, or shaky an hour later? That's what happens when you don't have enough protein in your diet, and over time, it can silently throw your blood sugar out of balance, especially if you're over 60. You see, lean proteins like chicken, tofu, fish, or beans don't just build muscle, they help slow digestion, keep you fuller longer, and most importantly, prevent big sugar swings that leave you feeling weak or dizzy. Unlike carbohydrates, they don't spike your blood sugar, they stabilize it. A 2023 review in the journal Nutrients found that older adults who included lean protein at every meal had more stable blood sugar levels and fewer diabetes complications. The American Diabetes Association also recommends pairing lean protein with carbohydrates to help smooth out your body's response to food. Think of protein as the anchor of your meals. Without it, even healthy choices, like brown rice or fruit, can cause rapid spikes and dips in blood sugar. But with it, you're in control. One of the best senior health tips I can give is this. Add 85 to 115 grams of lean protein to every meal. It doesn't have to be fancy. A grilled chicken breast, a piece of grilled fish, or even some lentils in your soup can go a long way toward helping you feel more energized and stable. Comment 9 if you've noticed a difference when you add protein to your meals. Let's talk about easy ways to make it a habit without adding extra calories. Number 10. Healthy fats. Not all fats are the enemy. Hey, can we get something really clear really quickly? For years, people have been told to stay away from fat. Fat-free yogurt, fat-free salad dressing, even fat-free cookies. But here's the truth. Not all fats are bad, and some can be the missing piece in your blood sugar control routine. Fat from foods like avocados, olive oil, nuts, and seeds actually helps improve insulin sensitivity. That means your body can process sugar better, more slowly, more steadily, without the big swings that leave you feeling exhausted. These healthy fats also help reduce inflammation and support your heart, which is especially important as we age. A 2021 study, published in the journal Diabetes Care, found that older adults who regularly consumed monounsaturated fats, such as those found in olive oil and avocados, had better blood sugar control and a lower risk of cardiovascular complications. The National Council on Aging recommends these fats in moderation to support long-term health in people with diabetes. So no, you don't have to cut out all fat. You just need to know which types to include in your meals. A spoonful of olive oil on a salad, a few slices of avocado on toast, or a small handful of almonds as a snack is enough to support your body without going overboard. One of the most practical senior health tips I can give you is don't fear fat, embrace it. Choose the ones that work for your body, not against it. Comment 10 if you're ready to stop running away from healthy fats. Let's share ideas on how to incorporate them into your meals in simple and delicious ways. So yeah, maybe fat was never the real problem. It's about choosing the right kind in the right amount. And honestly, that's been the theme all along, hasn't it? You don't need complicated diets or fancy ingredients. You just need a little broccoli on the plate, a handful of berries instead of candy, some oats instead of white bread. Add lean protein so you don't crash. Drizzle a bit of olive oil, not too much, and you're already doing more than most. Small things, real foods, the kind that help not hurt you as you age. Simple swaps that your body will thank you for. One bite at a time. Honestly, most people don't think about their blood sugar until something's wrong. You may feel tired after lunch. Maybe your vision is blurry sometimes, or your mouth feels drier than usual. But you think it's just getting old. The truth? Probably not. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, more than 1 in 3 adults over age 60 have pre-diabetes, and most don't even know it. You don't have to wait until you're diagnosed to start paying attention. If you notice unusual drops in energy, feel thirstier than usual, or feel like your body isn't recovering as quickly as it used to, you should talk to your doctor about your blood sugar. No pressure, just awareness. And by the way, don't let your drink ruin all your efforts. You can build the perfect plate: vegetables, lean protein, whole grains. But then, pour yourself a glass of sweet iced tea or reach for a bottle of juice, and it all goes down the drain. Drinks are sneaky like that. They raise your blood sugar faster than most foods, and they don't make you feel full. So you keep eating, and your blood sugar keeps rising. A good tip? Stick to plain water, warm tea, or lemon water, especially with meals. Not only do they help balance digestion, they also give your kidneys and liver a break. Sometimes, senior health tips aren't about what you eat, but about what's in your glass and how often you listen to your body. You see, it's not just about cutting out a few bad foods. It's about paying attention to the little signs your body is trying to give you and making small changes before things get serious, like choosing water over sugary drinks, or asking your doctor about your numbers even if you feel mostly fine. Because the sooner you start paying attention, the easier it is to stay ahead of problems like blood sugar spikes, fatigue, or long-term complications. So here's the bottom line. When you avoid risky foods and lean toward foods that support your system, you're not just eating better, you're protecting your eyes, your heart, your energy, and your independence. Every meal becomes an opportunity to take care of yourself without feeling restricted. If this video has given you something to think about, take it one step further. Stay hydrated, schedule a checkup, and subscribe so you never miss an update from Healthcase. And if you know someone who could use a few simple senior health tips like this, share this video with them. It might be the reminder they need. We're here to help you eat smart, feel healthy, and stay fit, one choice at a time.